A great man, and it was nominated by his good friend Pat Wild, who is here tonight, thankfully. David Burke, an outstanding. Great, I want to say a few things about it. You know, our cross-country program in the 70s and 80s was phenomenal, both men and women. And just a few accolades for David. Class M state championship cross-country. He was WCC individual cross-country champion. He has the BHS cross-country course record. And he still holds the Bethel High School record for the mile, 4:18. My first lap was 4:18. Seriously. Graduated from Northeastern University, and he was a four-year scholarship athlete. 2011 inductee, Mr. David Burke.
Thanks, everyone. Like my brother Marty, I always have a speech with me.
I always take the walk the miles slow.
I'm deeply honored to be inducted into the Bethel High Hall of Fame and happy to be here tonight with family and friends. I've been running for my life since I could stand on 2 feet. Being the eighth son of 10 boys and 1 girl, I had to run, and fast. I'd run to get dressed. My mother always said the first one up was the best dressed. I'd run to the dinner table before the food disappeared, and run to steer clear of trouble. When I was 8, I caught brothers Bobby, Tommy, and Brian smoking cigarettes behind the old Dolan barn in Worcester Street. Well, my dad told us smoking will kill you, so I turned and ran to tell on them. I got about 20 yards before being tackled. They held me down, forced me to smoke, and Bobby said, "If you tell, we'll tell Dad you smoke too." Quite a dilemma for an 8-year-old. And I didn't tell out of fear of being guilty too. But my parents were always very supportive. When I was a kid playing Little League, my dad would wait, every time we had a rain out, he'd wait in the parking lot with me until the last car to leave, because I said, "Dad, we're still going to play, we're still going to play." As I look back, I was struck by his patience. My mom and Marty were at every cross-country meet. My mother would be saying a prayer for me for every meet, and Marty would always give me a pre-race speech, including imitating Muhammad Ali. He got me pumped. He got me pumped for every race. All my brothers shaped my life as a runner. Every day was a competition. I remember one cross-country meet at Central Catholic in Norwalk, and halfway through the race, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't lift my arms. And I realized it was a 22-round boxing match I had with my brother Brian the day before. It was like Sugar Ray and Jake LaMotta. I was Jake LaMotta and took a beating. You could never knock me down, Brian. Lucky for me, Dad found the gloves and we never saw him again. Then there's my brother Roger. Even though I was Connecticut state champ and a D1 all-wing a miler at Northeastern, every time I came home, Roger would challenge me to a race around the block. It broke my heart to beat him like a rug. But the scary part is he really thought he could beat me. And I believe that's kind of the thinking that got him into the Immaculate Hall of Fame a few years ago. As I look back, I had 3 lucky breaks: Coach Don DeMille, Coach Tommy Pardalis, and Pat Wild. Coach DeMille was old school. He instilled in me a desire to win, win, and win. With his coaching, within a year I was all-state. It was hard to put into words on how he did it, but you just never wanted to disappoint him. Not out of fear, but out of love of sport. Coach Pardalis is here tonight. He instilled a toughness in me. I remember senior year coming off a stressful cross-country season, just wanting to relax a little bit. I was having fun in basketball practice, maybe too much fun. I thought I had the starting job locked up. 2 weeks into the season, Coach P called me into his office, and he said, "Dave, I'm thinking about cutting you." My mouth dropped and begged for another chance. You want to see an attitude change, just talk to Stuart Teague, Stan Simpson, and Tom McGee. I was hustling for every ball. I ran my ass off. Coach Parnell's like to was run. I think I did more running for him than DeMille. And finally, there's Pat Wild, who I share the mile record with, 4:18.2 at Bethel High School. Pat was a year older than me, and he was the man when I arrived on the team. The standard of cross-country excellence. Every dual meet Pat and I ran was a winning meet, and by the time I graduated, we were 64-0. Pat made me a better runner. If I was having a bad day, I still had to hang with Pat. If he was having a bad day, he knew I was pushing him. His senior year, he finished second in the state open mile, and I was 4 seconds back and fourth, the best 1-2 in the state. I remember visiting his house in 10th grade, and among all the presidential and historical memorabilia was an index card taped on his wall with 4:22 on it. He told me that's Dave Tierney's mile record. I remember making a mental index note in my head. The next spring, I ran 4:21 to beat that record. Time for a new index card, I thought. 2 weeks later, Pat ran 4:18.2 to set the new record and win the state open mile. On my final race, my final senior year, the next year, I ran 4:18.2. Not 4:18.1, not 4:18.3, but 4:18.2. I thought was appropriate, and we both were state open mile champions. People often mistake thinking running is an individual sport. Runner's success is directly related to dedication, teamwork, and inspiration that comes from those around him. I still run today, not as fast, and I'm happy to have occasional win in my age group. But my inspiration and support comes from my wife, Heather, my daughter, Sarah, a runner at UMass Amherst, and my son, Andrew, who just finished a race today up in Boston at Franklin Park, is a top runner for Nauset Regional High School. Thank you for this very special honor, and I want to congratulate all the other inductees. Thank you very much.